Let's bring you this discussion. In about half an hour, the Constitutional Court will deliver its judgment on whether fathers should be entitled to the same amount of parental leave as mothers. Now, this follows a 2023 ruling by the High Court in Gauteng, which found that the current laws unfairly discriminate against fathers by granting different leave entitlement. Now, at present, biological mothers are entitled to 4 months of maternity leave. Fathers receive 10 days of paternity leave. Let's unpack the story with Mpiwa Mangwiro Tsanga. She's the Policy Development and Advocacy Manager at the Sonke Gender Justice Institute. It's great to talk to you, Mpiwa. Thanks for coming on. Important discussion, this one. So tell us about Sonke Gender Justice and its role in the matter when it proceeds in the Con Court at 10 o'clock.
Good morning, Michelle, and thank you for having me. So in this case, as you have highlighted, this is a case that addresses parental leave. And Sonke Gender Justice has been an applicant when the Van Wyks brought their application before the High Court. Sonke Gender Justice has been a co-applicant in this matter, where we have also been expressing our interest to have the certain provisions of the Basic Conditions of Employment Act rendered unconstitutional to the extent that they discriminate between mothers and fathers. As you have highlighted, currently mothers have 4 months maternity leave, while other forms of parents, including fathers and adoptive parents, have lesser leave rights, with fathers having only 10 days. And so because as Sonke Gender Justice, we are really a feminist a women's rights organization which is advocating for gender equality and gender justice. This has been one of those cases where we came on board because it aligns with our stance, where we have been advocating for equal involvement in caregiving roles by all genders and also by fathers. And our stance really has been that we are also advocating for 4 months leave to be given to all parents, so that all parents are given equal amount of leave, so as to enable fathers to be also able to play a role, a nurturing role in their children's lives, and also so that we also address the issues or the notion that caregiving is only a women's work, and which also has an impact on women's lives. It also has an impact in the workspace and in terms of their economic well-being. So we are saying that if the court addresses that, and if we then get to a point where there is equal parental leave, then that also promotes equality, it also promotes dignity, and it also promotes family life, and ensures that parents can be involved in their children's lives from an early age.
Yeah. So what Sonke Gender Justice is asking for is actually different to what the Van Wyks are asking for, right? Because this Limpopo couple, just some background for our viewers, when their son was born, as I understand it, the mother was a small business owner, and her businesses would have been at risk of collapse if she had taken 4 months off. The husband worked in financial services. So what the couple is proposing is that parents get 4 months of maternity or paternity leave. Parental leave is probably the better term, but that they can divide it up as they see fit. So in the Van Wyks case, the mother wanted to go back to work, but then just wanted to sort of hand over that maternity leave to her husband, which, as we know, is not possible because under the current legislation, paternity leave is 10 days. So that's what the Van Wyks are asking for, a sharing of the 4 months of parental leave. Sonke Gender Justice is saying both parents should get 4 months. Mpiwa, are you still there?
Hello, can you hear me?
We can now.
I seem to have lost sound.
Did you hear the question?
I'm not sure if you can hear me, but if you can hear me, Sonke's position is that we are advocating for 4 months leave for each parent instead of 4 months that is shared between co-parents. And we are saying that this is mainly because this, if we say that we leave it at 4 months that is co-shared between both parents, we are likely to see it a default position in which mothers are likely to take more time because of the inherent patriarchal norms, which are often assume that care work and child care is a mother's responsibility. So we are not likely to see more parents or more fathers taking up that time. But if each parent is given their 4 months, then it becomes their responsibility to take up their 4 months, while mothers are also still left with their own equal time of 4 months. And then we avoid what would likely be a default position where parents or fathers would be less likely to take more time if the 4 months is to be divided between, or is to be a shared block between co-parents.
Right. I just want to check, Mpiwa, can you still hear me so that I can ask you a follow-up question? Mpiwa, one more time, I'm going to check whether you can hear me so we can continue with our discussion. All right, our apologies for that. It's a shame because we'd like to ask some follow-up questions, but we seem to be battling with some technical gremlins there. But I think the facts are clear. Neo, what is that? All right, my executive producer, Neo Monetsane, tells me that she can now hear us. Mpiwa, can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, good. I just wanted to check that you are still able to hear us so we can continue with our conversation. So, okay, I've got the facts clear on what Sonke Gender Justice's position is versus what this couple is applying for in the country's courts. Economically, does it make sense for our country to give both parents a 4-month chunk of leave, parental leave?
Yes, one of the things that you're asking this question, it's one of the questions that have been asked to say that what is the impact economically? But the thing is that equality is never impractical. So it's an investment, and it's an investment that is worth making. And we have, even in our representation in court, we did share studies globally that show that equal parental leave improves child well-being. It also reduces workplace discrimination against women, and it fosters healthier and more stable families. So those costs are far outweighed by the long-term social and economic benefits. So that's what we would really say, that there is more benefit in having this parental leave granted to all parents when you look at the social benefits that it will bring. And also when you take into consideration the challenges that South Africa is facing, where we have high levels of gender inequality and gender-based violence. And these are some of the ways that if we are to tackle this, we need to start in the home and bring that equality in the home.
Yeah, absolutely. More present parents, perhaps the argument for more present fathers is such an important one because, as you say, it filters down to the socioeconomic challenges that we face in our country. But the one issue, and I see the UIF has also weighed in on this in terms of the Labour Minister's notice filing insofar as the court action is concerned. And I want to just read a quote from the Minister. She does not, she says, support each parent getting 4 months off. It would be a burden on the UIF, employers and the economy overall, given that both employees would have to be paid for these 4 months of leave, either by the employers or by the UIF. The other downside is, this is according to the Labour Minister, is that it may lead to employers losing appetite to employ people who are of childbearing age because of both parents then needing to take off 4 months paternity or parental leave.
Yes. Look, like what I have noted, that while one of the grounds that are being for some of the parties that have come onto the case and have been opposing the case, they have been saying that the economic burden is going to be hard. But like I have said, that equality, we can never say equality is impractical. And also, we cannot already dismiss it before we've even tried. Let us put the necessary framework frameworks that need to be put for us to ensure that, and this can also be something that then is realized progressively when we have put in the necessary framework. But if we already start from a position where we want to dismiss it and say economically we cannot sustain it, then we will never get there, because already we are starting from the point of dismissing it instead of starting from the point of saying it. Certainly there is a value in having both parents or all parents being equally involved in their children's lives. It also brings, it increases the children's well-being. It also increases the stability within our families, in relationships between parents and children, and all those other benefits that I've highlighted. So let us start by putting the necessary framework in place and work towards that realization, rather than dismissing it and saying that economically it's going to put a burden, it's going to dissuade employers, because that would also be a discrimination of its sort.